Hello, I really need support and honesty right now. I want to keep this as short as possible, so sorry if it sounds jarring. Lately, I've been feeling guilt and shame for events from a while ago. I made friends in high school with a group of people we'll call Caleb, Lee, and Dan. I had feelings for Caleb. Lee and Dan knew this well, and when Caleb asked me to dance, I said yes. Eventually, I started noticing certain behaviors in Lee. Lee and Dan were both in a relationship, but she flirted with other guys at our work and admitted to having feelings for them. But she wanted me to tell Dan for her, and I refused. She also flirted with Caleb in front of me several times and implied things, such as comparing both her and Caleb to Disney couples and whatever. Caleb didn't seem to notice. Caleb was shy but eventually became distant with me, and I was confused, so to receive clarity, I told him I had feelings for him, and he rejected me. I was hurt. Once this happened, Lee started telling me that Caleb was after her and flirting with her, that he wanted to ditch me and Dan to be with Lee, and that she knew the entire time several months that he never liked me. Dan was close with Caleb and was saying that this wasn't true, and he was confused. I had my last straw with Lee when she threatened to go back to her ex over a minor disagreement with Dan. After that last incident, I went to Dan privately and told him I didn't want to be friends with Lee anymore. I told him that it's up to you what you want to do, but I don't think Lee treats you well, and she's not a good girlfriend. This was several months after Caleb rejected me, and I had started to gain feelings for Dan, but I didn't want to tell him that while Lee and him were still together. I wanted to tell him that as a friend and leave my feelings out of it. But unfortunately, I think he got the vibe that I liked him and reeled a confession out of me. I told him if he doesn't feel the same, that's okay, and I clarified that I'm telling him my concerns with Lee as a friend. He decided to break it off with Lee and wanted to be with me, but we didn't start anything official for a few months. I quickly realized that being with Dan was a terrible idea, as this ruined our friendship. He became extremely distant from me. We started following us at school, even though she became homeschooled, and when I expressed my frustrations, both Caleb and Dan looked at me like I was crazy. I was really hurt and eventually left the group. I found out later that Lee bashed me online, saying that I stole Dan, who never liked me, and now I have no friends, and then Lee and Caleb ended up together. I guess I'm writing this post because I feel extremely guilty for talking to Dan in private, even though I really didn't want it to become a steal your man situation. I just wanted to help a friend, and I'm scared that maybe Lee is right, that I'm just some loser with no friends, and that I'm the crazy one. So please let me know what you think and ask questions if you'd like for clarity. I could really use some support and honesty. Thank you for reading.